Hey friends, this is Heath with Backyard Explorers. We're going to go to our local library, see if we've got any emails from junior explorers. If they've got some good questions, we're going to get some library materials and go on an adventure. So come join us. I'm here at my local library to see if we've got any emails from Backyard Explorers. It looks like Lily wants to know, what makes leaves fall off trees? A good question. David asks, what happens to leaves in the winter? Good question. Let's go ask the librarian if we can get some more resources on this. I think I know what we're going to talk about today. Let's have a look at leaves. So I've got my books and I've got my library card. Let's check out at the front desk and go on a leaf hunt. I'm here at my local park. We're going to have a look at leaves and we're going to start a leaf collection. It's easy, it's fun to do. You can do it in your backyard or local park. So let's go investigate. The first thing we want to answer is, what is a leaf? A leaf is the primary site of photosynthesis for a tree. Did you know that all plants make their own food? That's right. Through photosynthesis, they absorb the sunlight, take in moisture and minerals from the roots, and combine that to create sugars that the plant stores to grow and create energy for itself. Chlorophyll is the substance that gives plants their green color. As you can see, a lot of leaves are falling off the tree. As the days get a little bit shorter and the nights get a little bit colder, those leaves have to go because they're taking up energy instead of giving the plant energy. This American sycamore is huge, and its leaves are huge too. Its palmately shaped leaf and its size really makes it easy to see the leaf parts. You can see the leaf petiole or leaf stem. You can see the big midriff down the middle. You see all the side veins? Those help the nutrients go to and from the leaf. The whole leaf is called the blade, and the edge is called the margin. And you can really see all the parts in this big American sycamore. Did you know that plants clean the air? That's right. Every single leaf cleans the air and creates the air that we breathe. They take in carbon dioxide that animals breathe out, that is the exhaust from automobiles, and they take that in through tiny little holes on the underside of a leaf called stomata. Don't get scared by the word. Stomata is just a fancy word for mouth. If you look really closely through a microscope, the stomata look like tiny little mouths, but those mouths are taking in CO2 that the plant can turn back into oxygen for us to breathe. So here's just another way that we have a symbiotic relationship with plants. They give us oxygen, we give them carbon dioxide. It's a perfect system. Every tree species is distinct. Oklahoma has over 300 varieties of native trees. Each has their own characteristics. This is a flowering dogwood. It has a simple leaf, just like the American sycamore, but you'll notice the shapes are totally different. Each tree has its own distinct characteristics, and you can tell the tree's differences by those characteristics. The flowering dogwood is an understory tree, which means it can grow right underneath much larger trees like the American sycamore. It probably won't get that big. It's going to be one of the first to bloom in the spring because it really has to capitalize on that sunlight before the broadleaf trees like the American sycamore bloom, because after that they're not going to get near as much sunlight. But boy, are they beautiful. And you can tell that it still has the same characteristics of the leaf we saw before. We still have the main midriff, we still have the veins, we still have the style, we still have the leaf blade, and it all serves the same function, photosynthesis, to create food for the plant. So we already know that the main reason trees make leaves is for photosynthesis, but a leaf's life is not done when the leaf hits the ground. Leaves still have a lot of work to do. Animals burrow in these piles of leaves to keep themselves warm in the winter. These leaves also help prevent erosion. When it rains, the water hits these leaves instead of splashing in the mud and running off all over the place. These leaves also break down in the winter and just create further nutrients for the plants. So it's a full cycle. This beautiful tree is a pin oak. You can definitely tell why too. Look at these odd tips on the points of this leaf. Totally different from the American sycamore and way different from all the other leaves that we've seen. So I definitely need this one for my collection. If you look on the back, it still has that mid vein. It still has all the other veins. Yep, perfect. This one's going in the bag. There's two major types of trees that you need to know about: evergreen and deciduous. You guessed it, evergreens stay green year-round, whereas deciduous, like these American sycamore, they lose their leaves in the fall. These evergreens, no matter how cold it gets, will stay green year-round. Did you know that that's actually a type of leaf? That's right. Now we call them needles, and needle does describe their shape, but they're actually a type of leaf. And just like before, the green is from the photosynthesis. And just for fun, a pine cone. How cool is that? Evergreens are often called coniferous if they create cones. Just some extra fun stuff. But I've got some other things right here beside me that are also pretty neat. This is a holly. Some things I wanted to show you about the holly. First of all, they've got little teeth on them that can kind of bite, so do be careful about that. Some plants are dangerous. Not all plants are friendly. There's a saying that's very popular: leaves of three, let it be. If you see a plant, especially if it's vining or low on the ground, it might be poison ivy. Do not touch it. You're very likely to be allergic. I want to show you guys my favorite tree, the eastern redbud. It's got these beautiful heart-shaped leaves and these bright pink blooms in the spring. This is a simple leaf. Let's compare that to a compound leaf. These are both leaves, but this one has these leaflets. These are both going to be great for the collection. All animals depend directly or indirectly on plants for their survival. The herbivores eat the leaves and the carnivores eat the herbivores, and so the cycle goes. Did you know that you eat leaves too? That's right. Spinach, lettuce, cabbage, we're part of the cycle too. We've got some great specimens for our leaf collection. As you're collecting leaves, try to get as much variety as possible. Those distinct differences in leaves are going to demonstrate the different species in tree. For now, let's return our books to the library and get started on this collection. We've just returned our books to the library, and I hope you've enjoyed a closer look at leaves. For your collection, you can put them in bags, trace them, sketch them, or just describe them. But it's your turn to do a leaf collection. Join us next time for Backyard Explorers.